from being objects to becoming subjects. I wrote this after reading something by the iconic feminist Bell Hooks. Subjects act, objects are acted upon. Subjects observe, objects are observed. Subjects are their own masters, objects are controlled by others. Subjects define themselves and their own reality, objects are defined by others. In patriarchy, women have been made objects, and feminism is a journey from objecthood to subjecthood. So happy journey, women.
The door. I am wearing a middle sheet. Forget me not, nor tell me to endure the cries of the winds. On the temple terrace, the peahens are getting into the fountain, all bare-breasted. Do not disturb them either. Out of the silver box, a spiral anklet emerges. Melancholy wears it on her jaundiced ankles. I have sent to the laundry house all the tear-soaked shiny handkerchiefs, meals that caught me up in a whirlpool of love and then abandoned a blind pauper on a road that leads to the crematorium, have now themselves become headless torsos that lie in sleepless inns, and in a city of steel, the door itself comes out of its house with flower bouquets, bouquets that are wrapped in silver foils. Out of every pore of the skin do rise a mane and 700 spears. On the hand of a clock, a river of dead time wakes up. All the corpses of love and all those hands that knock the door to a far-off place are now adrift. O male chameleon, don't disturb the door.
Awakening. And then the machine stopped. The sky began to clear when the great gears groaned to a halt. The ground ceased its shivering. Stars appeared and beasts emerged in our absence. Wings cast shadows over empty streets. In the gnawing silence, a distant siren reminds us of a gruesome tally. We peer from our doorways for a ray of hope, long to walk the paths we barely noticed. In the ebb and flow of life and death, we inhabit the low tides, a scant respite from irresistible waves. After a time, most will return to the normal, become mired in old assumptions and petty desires, to the ways that failed us. But a few will awake to find that the world kept turning and changed. They will walk into the sun and shed their masks.
Whispers in the wind. Sounds of bombs were reverberating through the Nandikada lagoon while we were selling poetry on board. Terrified mothers clutching their children, weeping in pain. Sighs of those who perished brushed their cheeks, as if in a final goodbye that was never said. 30 years of tears made a land, truly a teardrop in the Indian Ocean. And we were selling poetry on road, while the sounds of bombs were reverberating through memory. Walls imprinted with shells shivered over memories lost. Walls are made of memories, and so are we. We are a nation divided by war and lost at peace.
In the corridor of the world, wasn't it a little tricky? While I happened to be in the valley, she came down to Plains and had tea and muffin in the downtown shop, and at the art home chanced to buy a little figurative, even in that of an odd Sunday afternoon, and see a play in the opera house where all precious women got rid of I. She must have, on contrary, a vision of me, amidst birches, chasing cute rabbits and their unfolded ears, and in the nearby lake, taming a mermaid with no tail of fish, and mourning the season for being bare and no further promise. Then calling you, dear, home beyond the barbed wire, and the ghetto for me where words fell short, that we denied to see each other, and so continued to be and becoming of us.
Eggshell. And it seemed to them that their world had cracked. Just like when you are all contained inside a thin shell, and up to then you thought the whole world was there. To you, it felt like a whole deep ocean, like the never-ending sea a herring might swim and swoosh around in. You were not even aware that your movement was cramped. You thought it was free. That's all you knew from the very beginning. True, those were really your circumstances when you were just a tiny embryo, and the amniotic fluid felt, and indeed was, an enveloping vast ocean, with currents and a promise of islands your tiny self could only dream of. Though you never really felt a breeze from inside the thin shell, once in a while you would hear faint noises from far away. Perhaps those tiny pores punctuating the shell allowed a sensation of wind to penetrate, and you happened to be placed at the right angle to catch the whiff of the fragrances it brought. So, from inside your egg, you could occasionally sniff a larger world out there, but in your hearts of hearts knew it wasn't meant for you.
Thank you, Prachya from Bangladesh, and Tong Ghor Talkies from Bangladesh, and of course, poet Shafenur Shafan for having invited me to read a poem during COVID-19. Friends, COVID-19 has created a lot of chaos all over the world, and during such a period, we are trying to connect with each other through poetry, which is a very welcome fact. And people like Shafenur Shafin, through Prachya Review and Tong Ghor Talkies, they are making wonderful, commendable attempts to connect us through poetry. Today I will read one of my most recent poems for you. The title of the poem is Dreams These Days. The poem talks about what kind of dreams we see these days. The dreams can be morose, negative, full of pain sometimes, and sometimes the dreams are very optimistic, positive, looking forward to a better world which may very soon approach. So let me read my poem for you, Dreams These Days. Dreams these days are of the moon and moon manufacturer. The gripe, translucent skies in the night, the mood swings of solitude, the cognizance of the air purer, the memories of missing moon motif, a vanished delight. Dreams these days are of the sea and the seafarer. The uncluttered, sweeping ocean epitomizes much more than an unbiased body of water. It embodies a malicious elegance that never hesitates to induce the narrator. Dreams these days are of some make-believe love and some eternal lover. Ah, genuine love is measured by how deep you tumble, and adjudicated, mediated by how trivial you are, how willing to scuttle just to save it and make it linger. Dreams these days are of a comrade and about some Parameshwara. It is resolute by how keen you are to unclutter, offer your conviction. It is generous, incredible, and apparently very kind. It is, of course, often biased. It is color blind. Dreams these days are of travel and the traveler, the wanderer and the wanderlust, the reminiscence and rumination. Do not fold away lost travel stories to the hermit's harbor. There is a great lot you ought to see post-contagion. Dreams these days are of many lands, many homes, and the homemaker. There is boundless share your passion daily does short to travel. You need not unpack right away. Keep your luggage at bay. You are not parting. Your authority shall take you back, O seafarer. Dreams these days are of a long life, glorious, happier, healthier, better. Still, if you succumb, the show goes on minus you. So do not despair. Dream anyway, love anyway. You shall soon find your home awfully closer. The marvels of the moan sound colossal. They may as well entice and lure. Thank you once again, Prachya Review and Tong Ghor Talkies and poet Shafin from Bangladesh.
The Lone Survivor. একটা কাছিন কি ভীষণ একা অ্যাকোয়ারিয়ামে ঘুরে বেড়াচ্ছে, মানুষের মাঝে নির্বিকার। জলের ভিতর থেকে সে আমাদের দেখে। 100 বছর আয়ু তার। 100 বছর সে কি ভাববে? ইউনিকর্নের রক্তের মহৌষধি গুণ, মৃত্যু সম্পর্কিত প্রভূত চিন্তা, দূর মহাকাশ থেকে নেমে আসা উল্কার স্বরূপ। মানুষের কিসের এত তারা? নাকি তার একাকিত্বের মাঝে প্রবল শুধুই যৌন চিন্তা? The Lone Survivor, translated by my dear friend Amit Chakraborty. A turtle, deadly lonesome in the aquarium, wandering round among onlookers, stoic. But it looks at you from deep within the water. A turtle, 100 years old. What did it think about all these years? Essence of unicorn's blood? All things death related? What shooting stars from space are all about? Why are thieves always in a hurry? Or is this loneliness filled with carnal fantasy only?
Hi, my name's Chad Norman, and I'll be reading two poems that both have to do with the virus. And the first poem I'd like to read is entitled To Be Taught. Alone with the virus, as May actually made it, when I walk and watch how the robins here, worm after worm, I enjoy, then revere such steady harmony, activated knowledge of being alive and absolutely unnecessary. The second short poem I'd like to share is called The Id Cove 20, and this is for my good friend Ruth Kozak. I sneak outside during the virus invasion to privately witness. Vigilance comes in the form of a wee purple crocus poking out of our morning snowfall. There you go. There's a couple of poems, and I'm very happy to be part of what the review is doing, and thank you very much.
Numbers: 150 new cases, 20 dead, 2 recovered. A spike of this many numbers in the last 24 hours. This country leading that country by this many numbers. 2020 has been reduced to a year of numbers. Is Mother Nature learning her math? Carrying an abacus, counting, recreating her creation? With the swish of her hands, the whirling clouds of gloom looms. Her rivers carry old tales in their sparkling new waves. Her sky, clear and blue, after ages, is filled with twittering birds, claiming their space, fret from the whirring gigantic birds. The unsure citizens of her country poke their shy head through the burrow, and seeing no brainy bipeds inside, they walk an extra mile. The world has been turned upside down. Would Mother Nature realize this soon? Or would the numbers realize that the world has been positioned as it should have been? A little tilted before, a little straightened now. A poet sitting in the nook of Mother Nature's heart counts these numbers. A letter trickles in, then 2, followed by next. The letters string themselves up into feelings, echoing the sounds of the sky and the earth. and the poet sees these numbers breathe. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Sophia Naz and I'm sharing a poem today called The Sundering. The Sundarban is crumbling, wet dust on fingertips opens threading eye of absence. A river's broken hum sings long notes of boatmen at the prow, eyes, talismans, silent presence. Drunk on his looking glass, stumbling sun paints on water, stripes to echo Bon Bibi's blessings, tiger's essence. Ruins in cyclones humbling, no lip of embankment left to grow liminal mangroves, last defense against mayhem, stem a tumbling earth ship, fleeting window to temper storms, slow senescence.
Gravity Ungrateful by Mark Blickley, photographed by Beatrice Georgalides, also pictured. Yes, I am dressed in mourning, dark clothes for a dark time. Yet I yearn to escape pandemic imprisonment with the germ of an idea that will allow me to soar above my confinement in an airborne threat against complacency and boredom. As I reach up to a blue heaven that promises social distancing on a cosmic scale, but that old bitch gravity bears down on me, slapping me down like a petulant child, crying out for what she cannot have, slammed back to a blanketed earth of red, white, and blue.
I'm Vishnu Kriti from Nepal. Title of my poem is Death. Like my shadow, invisible in brightness, you are always with me, teaching me about the pleasure of life, love, and the secret of creation. You are my true friend. You are my true friend. Thinking about you, I keep far away from scenes. I see my destination. I realize my duties. Death, it is because of you I am alive. Thank you.
এই মনোহর নৃত্য, গীত আর পানীয় জলের মাঝে বেড়ে উঠছো তোমরা। দেখো যেসব শিশু মালকোষ বাজাতে বাজাতে হৃৎপিণ্ড বিক্রি করছে তারা হারিয়ে গেছে। একটু পরেই ওয়েটিং রুম জুড়ে নামবে সন্ধ্যা, অতপর নার্সের পায়ের আওয়াজ আর হাসপাতালের নগ্ন বারান্দা। যেহেতু সূর্যাস্তের পর হাসপাতালগুলো হয়ে ওঠে মৃতদের প্রেয়ার হল, দোহাই তোমরা একটু আস্তে কথা বলো।
Hello, I am Dr. Nishi Pulogortha. I am an academic and creative writer based in Kolkata. And today, as part of the virtual literary event organized by Prachya Review and Tong Ghor Talkies, I would like to share a poem which I wrote last month. The title of my poem is Yellow. Yellow. Just beside this window of the staff room is a huge tree that turns a brilliant yellow in the hot summer sun. A flashy, bright, radiant yellow. A maltas, someone says it's called. Badollati in Bangla. Tufts of the yellow hang down, green and yellow that shine beautifully. As I look through older photographs, there it is. It must be shining bright even now. Just a few less pair of eyes to exult in its beauty. Thank you.
Parameshwaram returns to Jaffna. When lightning and thunder was at war, we left our homes and receded into jungle like the primitives. Even the palmyra leaves were lost without ways of the olden days. Washing the fragrance of a memorable past, rains of artillery fell over our souls. Hearing the wailing of the land, we were rooted to Alavatta, yet rootless again. In full bloomed over the city of Toronto, moon appeared without any acknowledgement from the Toronto sky. Never question a son who is weary of a rootless life, while he travels among the people of the Sydney town. Tornadoes and storms were over, taking loved ones in immeasurable times. Silent waters of the lagoons never called us back towards our familiar lands. Yet our souls which were unrest called us to return back home to olden days. Even though a broken, tattered house, this really is our home. Even though flattened to the ground, home really is where our memories reside. Where once the footprints were, bullets have made their mark. On a wall filled with children's art, an abstract art of camouflage was made. Caressing the memories on the walls of what is left of once a home, Mrs. Parameshwaram cried. Para, who never cried, wiped hot tears in utter desolation of a human soul. Even though the land belongs to none, it really is not just simple as that. Memories with the land is immeasurable, lingers with memories time to time. How can life be just as before, filled with laughter and carefree days, in a land where our memories perish? What use is a sky with decorative stars? Heavy memories with lingering fragrances can never be held within a hand. Within the fingers of a drifting soul fell not just the blood of a broken land.
I am Sakwat Chipu. I'm from Bangladesh. Poem title, Borderline. So close to death, go and come back every day. Sweet killer light, as if the blood is black. umpteen centuries away, crying loudly.
Traveling through the snow, land of the lions where the dragons fly, that is where I roam in weathers unknown and in seasons of June. I came across oceans full of pearls, hiking through fields of golden brown. Dew was kissing my feet while blood was pouring down. Winds of north, winds of south, all tangled up in the web of life. Searching for happiness, searching for my love, I traveled across fields of green. Flowers were blooming for spring. Climbing over mountains covered with snow, carrying a backpack full of memories of you. I have come so far in sake of you, but you have passed away to worlds more wonderful. I travel over valleys and fields, sailing through oceans so blue, blue as the lovely eyes of you. In the land of the Vikings I will meet you. Till that day I climb over mountains, dressed in snow, picking flowers blooming for spring in our garden of love. Again I travel with the memories of you.
Because I'm a girl, I must study. A father asks his daughter, "Study? Why should you study? I have sons aplenty." "Girl, why should you study?" The daughter tells her father, "Father, since you ask, let me tell you why I must study. Because I'm a girl, I must study. Long denied this right, I must study. For my dreams to take flight, I must study. Knowledge brings new light. I must study. For the battles I must fight, I must study. Because I'm a girl, I must study. To win independence, I must study. To avoid destitution, I must study. To fight frustration, I must study. To find inspiration, I must study. Because I'm a girl, I must study. To fight men's violence, I must study. To end my own silence, I must study. To challenge patriarchy, I must study. To demolish all hierarchy, I must study. Because I'm a girl, I must study. To mold a faith I can trust, I must study. To make laws that are just, I must study. To sweep centuries of dust, I must study. To challenge what I must, I must study. Because I'm a girl, father, I must study. To know right from wrong, I must study. To find a voice that is strong, I must study. To write feminist songs, I must study. To make a world where girls belong, I must study. Because I'm a girl, I must study.
Spring 2020. This warm spring, wildflowers defy quarantine to grow everywhere. I paint a spring night in my sketchbook, replete with moonshine, unaware of the current cycle. I wonder if flowers are still growing in Italy.
Hello, this is Han Lin, a poet from Burma, and the poem is called Helicopter. Helicopter, it did not know where to land until I signed an H with the corpse of my comrades. Thank you.
Hi, so today I'm going to recite a poem that I wrote during these trying times, and it is titled Fiction. I am a temporal character from the fiction, always fleeting between books, walking over pages, leaving footprints as texts, sometimes horrendous and most times appalling. I carry 2 bags of liquid, multicolored and translucent, and paint the texts in blue and red, where the liquid fades like the mind of a floozy. During my intoxicated tread, there are myriad of stories I plot. Once I create a resonance of deep agony. Once I devise a befuddled harmony of uncertainty. Once I caricature a sweet convex curve. And sometimes there is no mark at all, an effortless invisibility. This strange susurrus never made me fidgety. I walked and engraved my footprints as placidly as I could. Thank you. I hope you liked it.
Hello friends, greetings from India. My name is Padmaja Engar Paddy from Hyderabad. I thank my dear friend Shafinur Shafin, the eminent Bangladeshi poet and the editor of Prachya Review, for inviting me to this poetry session on COVID-19. The title of my poem is Quarantined. Her children and she cower in terror as he approaches them, a wounded tiger, all set to devour them. Extended lockdown, sales of only essentials, no options to fulfill his addictions. They are ready for his charge and brace themselves for another round of his expletives and blows. Thank you.
The loneliest river in the world once tried to kill himself, but his attempt only created a delighted city. For decades, wavelets along ways he flows, throwing curses into the air. And now when a century has already passed, people numberless are dying and being born. Boats, trains and wheels are moving forward. Shops, brothels, hospitals and graveyards are growing in numbers day by day. This river who once desired a suicide now detests death more than anything. Our city this autumn will witness something it has never thought of. Once we have immersed all our clay deities, this river, who now hates to die, will gather all the scarlet saris of the soaked bodies to create another river. Believe it or not, rivers in our future will all be red. Countless saris will cover their bodies. All blood will be their only water.
COVID-19, an elegy.
So we saw the grim legions of our generation destroyed. How we mourned them. Are you then shattered and distressed, torn apart to see that ruthless kids deployed? Thus I beheld them, the strewn corpses before my sight, pale and bloodless, harvested, all the flowery.
নরবুক বিষে পুড়ে গেছে বন আর আগুনে ডুবছে নদী মানুষের নখ দাঁত নিজেকেই খুবলে খাচ্ছে মাছেরা ভেসে উঠছে মাটিতে আর জলের দিকে হাঁটছে মানুষ হাসির ভাঁজ সুলভ মূল্যে বসানো যাচ্ছে অথচ বুকের পাথর অপসারণ করছে না কেউ পৃথিবীর বর্জ্য পেটে নিয়ে মাছেরা যাচ্ছে স্বর্গের দিকে আর অশান্তির দিকে আমাদের একমুখী রাস্তা চলে গেছে মৃত্যুর দিকে খোলা বারান্দাওয়ালা এক একটা ঘর মৃত তারার মতো ভেতরে বসে আছে ফুরিয়ে যাওয়া মানুষ মানুষের নখ দাঁত নিজেকেই খুবলে খেয়েছে Cannibal, the forests burning with poison and the rivers drowning in fire. Humans with their teeth and nails are feasting on their own selves. Fishes are floating over the ground and people are walking towards the water. Folded smiles can be installed at reasonable price, but no one is removing a stone from the souls. Fishes are going to heaven, swallowing the wastes of the earth, and our one-way fatal road has nothing but chosen its own chaos. Each house with a porch is open to death like dead stars, exhausted, and ancient people are seated inside. They devoured their own selves with teeth and nails.
Song of my soul. Let this song gently brush your lips, that it might forever sleep in light, that it might forever heal careless voices, that it might forever protect you from the contagion of this world's dire heart. Let this song tenderly caress your cheeks, that it might forever rest with softness, that it might forever blush with longing and joy, that it might swell from the bitter sweetness of this world's squandered innocence. And let this song carry your feet, that it might forever jingle from the rhythm of pails, that it might forever breathe eternal, that it might forever usher in the hearts of imperfect poets into this world's elusive grandeur and everlasting grace.
This poem is titled Shackles of Delight. I wrote this poem to reflect on how the COVID-19 pandemic is changing the world around us, the people in it, and how this situation is uncovering the truth of capitalism, modern slavery, and of course, cowering mind. So now, Shackles of Delight. Half a year has gone by. World has taken a wild turn. Men and their woes are hunted. Those monsters turn to praise, as praise roam the earth, fearless of the night sure to come by. Oh, monsters, they still lurk heads high, wearing rings of delight. Slavery is reborn, capitalists rejoice. Men and their woes say, let others die. For shackles of 1,000 years seldom break in a cowering mind.
Dear poets and viewers, thank you all from Prachya Review and Tong Ghor Talkies to participate in this virtual literary event. We are also grateful to all those poets who sent their poems within very short notice. When we started this event, we were so scared that what will be the reaction, because this is not a right time to organize anything. But then we thought that if we don't keep up our creative works, then we will get more depressed. So this is just a try to free us from all those negativity, all those negative works. And if just for a moment, if any poem or any video in this event can make you feel better, this is our achievement. Thank you all. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hello everyone. We all know that the time is hard for all of us. Each and every day we are getting some news that we are losing someone or someone very close to us is infected by COVID-19. We are getting recovery news too, but the time is not easy for us and everybody is dealing with it differently. During this time, we Tong Ghor Talkies and Prachya Review collaboratively have organized the 2 days international virtual poetry event. We believe that poets from different regions is trying to express their feelings regarding this pandemic period in writing. Poets from different regions have a different way of expression. This virtual literary event actually try to bring poets from different countries together to the same platform to hold this time through their poems and console the world through poetry. We Tong Ghor Talkies also started a series called Tong Isolation Diary. It is a series included visual diary films on pandemic life, making by independent filmmakers. We know that the creativity can't stop the pandemic, but we want to believe that the creativity can help us to express our feelings, can help us to express our creations through arts, through creativity. So that's it, and thank you very much everybody for being with us. We just hope that we will stay safe, we will stay alive.